Hey there, I'm Elton, Aline is there behind the camera, and this is o Trem da Roça. You can see here behind us, this is going to be a part of our kale farm, and we're always trying to find this kind of synergy into cultures, like using the same resources we're gonna use for a culture, we use for another one, and we try to make them work together. So we've came upon talking, it was a party in inauguration of a store, and we talked to another producer here, another farmer, and he told us about this plant called AGAPANTHUS. It's a flower, it's this one, this is AGAPANTHUS, and he told us that it's a very good product because you don't need to worry too much about it, and when it comes time for you to sell, you can sell the seedlings and the plantlings and there we are. So we're gonna plant them in between the kales. This way we can use the same irrigation system for both. Everything is gonna be the same. We don't need to worry too much about it. It's just place it here and wait for us to have the plantlings. We don't know, I haven't studied the market, but in our town here, Piedade, people plant it a lot. The town hall planted it all over the town. People planted in their farms, and when we came here to this farm, we found a lot of agapanthus, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this flower. It's called love flower, right? I think the name means love flower, and we're gonna plant these right here, and let's hope it becomes a product. I don't know, maybe, but it's gonna work well with the kale. It's not gonna be a problem for the kale, and maybe a product too. All right, let's get the plantlings, the seedlings ready for us to plant. All right, so right here we have our plants to be transplanted. This here is agapanthus when it's abandoned. So what you can see here, it grows this carpet, and it has these tubers here. You see? It grows these like big potato-y kind of things. And this here, you can see, this is a plant. This is what we're going to transplant, and this here is also a transplant. Of course, some are stronger than others, but they're all going to turn into plants, into agapanthus, full of flowers, plants there. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna remove this dead leaves here, make it clean, you know. We're gonna remove these roots because after you hurt the roots like these, they can't work properly anymore, so these ones are going to go. So after they're cleaned, I'm gonna cut some of these leaves too because they're hurt and they're not gonna work anymore. And there we are. So this is gonna go in the ground, and we're gonna have I hope loads of love flowers coming from this one. We're also going to do a little bit of treatment on it with copper sulfate, where we're going to wash them with copper sulfate so we can have them safe from fungus. These plants, they are very old. They are in balance with the environment there, with the rhizosphere there. It has reached this balance, and when I transplant it, there might be an imbalance in the rhizosphere around these plants. So I want to come and treat it so we won't have any problems in the soil, especially because we're gonna plant it with our kale, which is our crop in that area. So I need to protect our kale. Let's get to work. All right, so we have our tubers here for the agapanthus, the love flower, and you can see we have a lot of them, and they look pretty good. So the ideal situation for tubers and things like these would be to have them in chlorum for like 24 hours in a bath, just like we would do with planting ginger or turmeric in an organic setting, of course. This would make sure that we don't have any fungus here that we're introducing to the land, to the soil there. But this comes from here in our own farm. This is our own plants from our own soil, and they look very healthy. You can see when we cut the tuber here, they look very, very healthy. So we're gonna make a bed here and just treat it with copper sulfate instead of a chlorum bath, and this should be enough for us to feel safe to plant it. And let's do it. Okay, so here we are planting Agapanthus. There we go. So this is called love flower. And we have it here in this town, Piedade, São Paulo, here in Brazil. People plant it a lot. And this is where flower shops and gardening shops, gardening stores, they come to buy these flowers. So we're hoping we can turn it into a product. You see, just plant it there, close it up. Very simple and easy to plant. Right here, I don't know which side is up. So what I do is I plant it like this, sideways like this. This way it's going to grow well. It's a very resilient plant, so I'm not worried if I plant it upside down. But if I can help it, I'm not gonna do anything to make it more difficult for it. It's not because it's resilient that we should test its resilience. And right here, the idea of planting this plant here, this flower, is that we can improve the kale harvest. So you see, with these plants, planting everything together here, we have garlic down there, and we are planting Agapanthus so that we can use everything we do for the kale is gonna help the Agapanthus grow. So that's the idea. It's to do a sustainable crop. So with the kale, we're gonna work on it, we're gonna harvest it and profit from it, and when it's time, we can harvest the Agapanthus, and this Agapanthus is going to generate profit for the same crop. So the work we do on the kale is gonna benefit it. So it's gonna be 100% profit on this one. That's the goal, and we wanna sell it directly for the gardening stores. So you can see it here. It's not a lot of work, it's just planting and harvesting. That's gonna be the work we're gonna have with Agapanthus. That's the goal we have, to profit from it, so we can live just from the land. There we go. Next line. Okay, so check it out. Here I made a mistake when I was installing the dripping hose, and we have some leakage here. So the leak is spraying all of this area here with water. So I decided to plant it here too. So there is more than one way to fix a leak, and this is one of the ways I did. And one of the amazing things we have here for this crop is that everything here is going to be organic. And working organically, if I planted here using like chemicals and pesticides and everything, I would be able to harvest a little bit more, like 10-20% more. But if you have to spend $80 to harvest 100, and here I have to spend 10 to harvest 80, I prefer to harvest 80. And that's the idea of working organic, is that you can spend less, and with that your balance is gonna be better, you see? Yeah, so you're gonna profit more working organic like this. And that's what we hope for. At least it's working well until now, and that's our goal, to get to that result. Olha, aqui também tá bem sequinho. Vamos ter que começar a ligar a irrigação 3 vezes. Alright, so here we go. An Agapanthus seedling. With these, we hope we can make a profit here in the farm, and we hope we can, people who buy these plants, they can be happy and it can make their houses more beautiful. Thank you very much for following our videos and watching us until here. This is our kale farm. It's the beginning of it, and it's not finished. This kale is producing more than kale. It's producing agapanthus, it's producing garlic, it's going to produce green onions and cilantro. So this is a sustainable way that we've found to produce and farm, and we hope you guys enjoyed watching us. Thank you if you've liked our video, if you commented on it, thank you very much for that, and if you subscribed, thank you even more. I'm Elton, Aline is there behind the camera, and this is o Trem da Roça. Thank you guys.
Thank you.